Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic, that is analysis of a complex position. Through this lesson we try to look at positions where we see master games and we see how they evaluate the position, how they find the moves, basically how they break down the position. So this is the position here with white to play. White sees that there are a lot of things happening on the white squares here. He sees that the king on g8 has weakened itself with the move f5. So maybe black's last move was f5 here, and he also noted that there are many black pieces which are loose, like the bishop on b7, somewhat weak pawn on d5, the knight d7 which can be easily pinned by the rook on d1. White had a few candidate moves here. The four which he mentioned in the analysis were qb3, knight d5, knight e4 and be4. Initially I thought of the move qb3 looks great. Queen attacks the bishop, queen attacks d5 and the knight attacks d5. But knight c3 check and black gets rid of one of the attacking pieces. So maybe it's not best over there. Then we have the very interesting knight d5, bd5, bc4. But then you can see that maybe black can just do either bc4 or even the move nb6. Maybe it's not winning yet. And then he looks at the moves knight e4 and be4. Point is that we want knight e4, fe, be4, or we want be4, fe, knight e4, trying to exploit the poor placing of king on g8 and the bishop on b7. So which one is the right way to go here? Let's see, play the moves and see. If we play bishop e4 first, then what happens? After fe, knight e4, black is not compelled to take de4. He can simply go with some other move except that the pawn is lost and the game goes on. Whereas if we play the move knight e4 first, then after fe, be4, it is more difficult for black because see d5 hangs and even h7 is hanging. So nf6 may well just allow bf6 and even the h7 pawn would be won. So black here is almost compelled to go with the move d takes e4. Now the point is that how far we should look into this line, because there is a force variation here which is happening. qb3 check, king h8, queen takes b7, e takes f3, rook takes d7, and it looks like after fg2 we can just take on d8 because the b7 queen attacks g2, right? That works. But the problem is black has queen e8 first, and after rook e7 he can go qg6 check. This is a very important analysis because here there is only one way to recover for white. Let's see what it is. White went qb3, king h8, qb7, ef, rook d7, qe8. After fg2, as I mentioned, just rook d8. And now black, whatever he does, like g takes h1 is almost forced, qh1, and whichever piece takes on d8, there is problem. Let's say bd8, then a8 just hangs. If rook d8, then be7, and queen and bishop are superior than two rooks. It's a winning position for white. So black goes queen e8, rook e7, qg6 check, and here white could have very easily gone wrong with the move queen e4. Looks like a tempting exchange of queens, but see it's a blunder. fg2, rook moves, and see rook f2. Here the queen is pinned and there is no way to get rid of this pin, and there is the rook f1 check looming here. So qg6, then just h takes g6 and no defense to rook f1 now. So it's losing for white here. So white had seen the move king a1, and his point was that now here black has nothing constructive. See, fg2 will just allow qg2. Black played rook b8, and after rook b8 white had seen the move qe4. There is a simple difference in line, but it's a very critical one. Now after see, if fg2 we just have qg2, so qc2, white has a deadly move here, white to play and win. It looks like we have to become passive to defend b2, rook b1, then there is rook f2 perhaps, but there is the strong move, see, ef6. Winning on the spot, qg7 is threat, b2 got protected, kind of a rejoinder here, a move which joins two combinations or two ideas. So here white saves his own thing and attacks opponent's g7. Thus queen e4 was played by black, and see rook e4, fg2, rook g1. You must be wondering what is the difference between the both lines, because here also there is rook f2, This is how one should think in order to improve two lines which look similar. What is the difference? See, white saw the move rook f4, and this is the critical point. The only move which wins for white here. No threats of rook f1 anymore, means the f2 rook has to move now, and after rook c2, let's say rook b2, then rook f8, kb2, and after rf2, kb3, white wins easily. So black played rook c2, now white played b3, h6, b7, rook e8, and white again found a simple intermezzo, king b1. Rook has to leave the c pawn, rook c2, bc5, it's time to resign almost, rook d8, and again white found the simple move, bd4. Also rook d4 could have been considered, but rook is better placed on f4. We don't want to allow rook f2 again. So here now it's time to resign basically. Black played rook c8, and after rook g4 he chose to resign because no defense to basically rook g7. See, even if rook c2 is played here, there comes rook g7 because see, b2 is guarded, no time for rook a2, there is a mate with the rook g2 check, and if h5 to stop the mate, then too there is a forced mate to try to calculate from here. Rook g2 check, it's a double check, king h7, rook g7 check, if kh6 then rook 1 g6 mates, if king h8 then rook g8, kh7, and mate in 1 with rook h8. Even rook 1 g7 would have mated next move, and white would have won. So black's decision to resign here seems fair enough. So the purpose of these lessons is to show you how the masters think, how they evaluate the position. Like white thought that the initial position was winning for him, and his calculation was able to prove that point. So this is the purpose of making these lessons. Do let me know how you find them in the comments below. Thanks for your time.